They are fantastic. I watched it last night. Dr. Thompson, sir, thank you very much for being with us. I've watched that DVD that you narrated. 1960 at Le Mans. You were already an experienced race car driver, but was there anything that could have prepared you for the unique personality of that race? It was a real challenge, particularly in those days.
Yes, it very much was. The course was much more wide open most of them we had raced, with longer straights, and it was hard to remember, particularly at night.
The Corvette was particularly good in 1960 around the faster corners, particularly the run up to the Dunlop Bridge. You had a considerable advantage there.
Yes, they went very well, and handled well. Yes.
And that was a big surprise to the Europeans, because they saw the car as perhaps stereotypically American, as big and heavy, and perhaps that it wouldn't handle so well. You were able to use that to your advantage.
Oh, very much so. As long as we had brakes, we could do very well.
Now tell us about the brakes, because of course in 1960, disc brakes were a few years away on street cars.
Well, these were streetcar brakes.
So these were drum brakes then?
Not very much drum brakes.
And how long did they last in the race then?
About halfway.
Now, forgive me for asking this, but how on earth did you manage to continue to be competitive for the other 12 hours of the race? What did you do to slow the cars down?
Downshift. that's why the engine blew and Fred Wyndham's car and mine. We've been downshifting and we got a little bit too ambitious.
But that, in those days when we talk about street cars, street GT cars, they were a very different animal from what we see here at the American Le Mans series, because you actually, we saw the pictures there of the cars coming off the boat at Le Havre and you guys driving them down through the street. So other than the safety aspect of it, they were pretty much exactly as you could have gone to the dealership and bought them?
Yes, I didn't have any trend indicators, but I tried to they were just about the way they delivered.
And what was that drive down through the French countryside like then? We saw some of the pictures there. They were all small roads. There was no motorways and no freeways in those days.
No, that was what we call a narrow back road. And we had a little problem with it. Everybody was looking and not sure where they were going.
And of course, in those days, for those of you who've been to France, it was still priority from the right. So anyone coming out of the small roads just dived out in front of everyone. When you got to Le Mans, and the cars were being finally prepared down in the city of Le Mans, in the garage that we saw there, did you really think that the cars had a good opportunity to have the finish that they eventually came home with?
Well, we all knew that the brakes were going to fail. Because you look down, they were top 5 brakes. Big brakes. And we were a little concerned about that, and we tried to baby them as much as we could. But when you look at a guy in the eye, it's kind of hard not to put the brakes on deep. And we enjoyed it. Well, as you said, the cars handled extremely well, and our top speed was pretty good.
Would that be about 160, 150, something like that?
160, I think.
In a street car with drum brakes, by the way, guys, heading down towards Mulsanne Corner, which you may not have recognised there because of the lack of trees that it had where the old signalling pits were. The other thing that I noticed about that movie, that I have to say you narrated expertly after the event, sir, so well done for that, was of course you guys, being the largest capacity cars, were actually on the front of the grid. So how hard was it for you then not to just go off and try and race everyone around you off the grid itself?
Well, we did.
And these were exotic. I saw that, yes. You managed to get away first there. There was a little stutter, but then you were gone.
You had to be first at some point.
Well, you guys were racing the exotic supercars of 1960s Europe. Maserati, Ferrari, they were all involved in Le Mans in those days, and these were cars that cost many times the amount of a street Corvette. How satisfying was it for you, as an American who had seen the potential of Corvette very early, to go out there and give them a run for their money on their home ground?
We had a good time doing it, I believe me. As you say, we'd seen all the Ferraris and Maseratis, and they were fast and those kind of guys. But we were Peter in the turn. We could scare them.
And you did.
I hope so.
Seeing that movie back again, I know you saw it, I think for only the very first time, fairly recently. Did that bring all those great memories flooding back for you?
Oh yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Great days, great days. Now when you look at the racing cars outside here and you look at the CompuWare Corvettes, do you still think you could give these guys a run for their money over here?
You're going to try.
Don't think hard. Get them signed up. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Thompson, will you give him a round of applause?